This one I found really pretty interesting in terms of that goes. This one was a rat study, but basically this study it wanted to look at whether methylene blue, and I find this interesting as a wellness focused pharmacist, and I have a lot of practitioners on the night that are wellness focused. We have something that we talk a lot about, which is called leaky gut. And what you might call gastrointestinal hyperpermeability. And it's basically where, due to our diets and different things, our food and different things, the gut lining separates. And when that happens, we leak out what's called lipopolysaccharides. These are the cell walls off of the negative, gram-negative bacteria in our gut. And unfortunately, these lipopolysaccharides, or I'm going to say LPSs, actually are great inflammatory triggers for the body. Anybody that does wellness understands this and is like, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. It drives inflammation, and inflammation drives a whole host of other diseases. And I was looking at this article because it was kind of unique. They induced this LPS on these rats. And what they did is they allowed it, and we know what happens is when LPS hits the brain, it causes microglial inflammation. Microglial is basically our immune system of the brain. And when it gets cut on, it's hard to cut it off. And that's why when you think about it, if you eat a bad diet every day, you're cutting this on every day, and it leads to things like cognitive decline, confusion. You can't have good memory. It can cause headaches. It can cause enhanced aches and pains. And so what that said is they induced this in these rats. And then what was really neat is they gave methylene blue to these rats. And they looked at pro-inflammatory factors that are produced in the brain on these rats. And they actually found that methylene blue, when given to these rats that had this brain inflammation caused by this LPS, it resolved the neuronal inflammation. And it actually, the other thing about microglial inflammation, it's thought to lead to a whole host of cognitive issues in terms of depression, anxiety, could be schizophrenia, and a lot of psychiatric illnesses. And we actually saw in these rats, it reduced the LPS and some of the triggers that we know for these. And basically, it's thought, hey, we maybe want to look at methylene blue in the future to reduce neuroinflammation to brain-related disorders that are related, whether it was LPS that drove it or other conditions that drive our brain's immune system to be hypersensitive.